Hey guys, Kev here, and I wanted to do an overview on the new Null Knives Raikou. So this is the new model from Null Knives. They're going to be doing a pre-order on this. So it is a pre-order from Null Knives. They did change the date from the 14th to the 21st. So it's September 21st at 8 p.m. Eastern, and you have a few different versions. I don't want to spend a ton of time on that, but we have starting at $310 on pre-order up to $390. I'm sure there's going to be some kind of limited edition stuff that might come out later or at the time of the pre-order that we don't know about yet. But then MSRP, you can see here, you get 20 bucks off each version for the pre-order. You have a static wash version, which is like a blast and tumble. You have a blue and satin, looks like a belt satin. You have a black and gold, black PVD belt satin with satin gold accents. And then you have the black camo CF with a hand rub and zirconium spacer. So similar to the one Voodoo they have, but zirconium backspacer. There's some changes and information here, but I don't really want to get too deep into that. You could probably watch some other videos going over all of that stuff. Just a quick rundown of the specs here. You have a 3.45 blade length and a 7.73 overall, which is pretty cool. S90V and titanium. So 3.6 ounces on the weight. And again, that is September 21st at 8 p.m. So let's talk about this knife. So this knife to me is basically a combo knife. It's like they took the blade from the Voodoo, not exactly, and then the handle from the Raiden, and they kind of mashed them together. So it's kind of a, I call it the Raikou. But they went with Raikou, whatever. No, I'm just kidding. Raikou is a character, apparently, that is kind of like a sidekick to Raiden. All of Null Knives stuff, I believe, is based on Mortal Kombat, and that's where that character comes from. So it's, I believe, kind of like Raiden is the god of lightning. Well, Raikou, I believe, is like the god of thunder or something like that. So hopefully that makes sense to you. But you have a stud with a slot for deployment, and that's been a pretty good combo of late. The Voodoo had it, and it was very well received. So I think he was smart in going with that on this. It's going to be Riot again, I believe, on the OEM, pretty sure. And, I mean, I can feel how similar this is to the, oh my God, I'm blanking out. I just said it like 5 times and I can't remember. The Raiden. So it's more like the Raiden than it is like the Voodoo. It just has a sheep's foot blade that is similar to the Voodoo, but the Voodoo was like a bolster lock. It worked really well left-handed. This kind of loses those types of features for me. Let's see if I can reverse flick. Yeah, see, I'm on the lock bar, and I just can't reverse flick it lefty. I'd have to come up here, and that's kind of awkward. So I got to ride down here, and I can maybe get it if I go all the way down here. Yeah. So as a lefty, I would say this knife is not going to work too well for you. I had to kind of rest on the point of this clip, which is actually hurting my thumb a little bit when I do that. I don't think it's pointy in general. I just think if you put a lot of pressure on it while you're trying to reverse flick, you feel it. So don't take that as it's a pointy clip, because in the hand, right-handed, it's very comfortable. I guess what I'm saying is I love the Voodoo because it's lefty-friendly in the sense of opening and deploying it and everything. This doesn't have that. So it's more like the Raiden, which wasn't, you know, for me personally. Great knife, well made, good design, just wasn't for me. The main reasons the Raiden wasn't for me were the poons. So the poon here and then the poon here. The way my hand landed when I gripped the knife is I would get a poon like right in my finger here, and then when I would go to bear down on the knife, my thumb would land right on this poon. And that's kind of the case still. I mean, I can choke back here, but I really feel this spot right here. It kind of just gets me right there. And then if I choke up to avoid that, then my thumb wants to land right here. Obviously, I can slide back and adjust and do things to make it work. But if I just pick this knife up to use it, I'm right there, and it's just not that comfortable. And, you know, it comes down to hand size, right? My specific hand size just does not work with this handle and this blade. And that's just, it's the same with the Raiden. It's just how it is. And I'm fine with that. I can still sit here and tell you this is a quality knife made extremely well by Raikou. I mean, the tolerances are really good. The anodizing is really cool on the blue. I love the pivot with the dimpling or knurling. It just gives you a ton of comfort when you go for like a pinch grip like this. Not that I would do that. I'm always going to choke up at the front end of the blade, but the studs are well done. You got these sort of pyramid style studs. Looks like they're set up to take O-rings. And the D10 is absolutely excellent on this. I tend to just go for the studs. That's one thing I'd like to point out, that I don't even really use the slot. On the Raiden, or on the Voodoo, sorry, I love the slot because it's just so good on the thumb flick to use the stud, and then you grab this slot to flick it on the reverse flick. Now, that does work here. But the way this knife is designed, the handle and everything, it just makes me want to line up vertically. And when I line up vertically on a knife, the stud is the spot to flick, right? If I'm going to line up where I flick out, then the slot is better. But this knife kind of drives me to a vertical flick, so I want to use that stud anyway. But it works off the slot, so it's not like an issue, and it looks good. So no complaints with that. I just want to point that out. Love the belt satin. I felt like the belt satin was missing on the Voodoo. I really wish there had been a belt satin version. So it's good to see that coming back. Got some jimping here, which, you know, it's well done. I normally don't land in that spot because I'm a choke up guy, so I'm going to land up here, and there's no jimping here. There's just that poon. I will say they definitely paid attention to this, and they knocked it down a little bit compared to the Raiden prototype I handled that felt a little bit sharp up here. This feels more comfortable for sure. Definitely love the sheep's foot blade. I mean, I'm all about you know, utility cuts and stuff like that. It's a 3.48 inch blade, and it feels like it. You know, it feels maybe even a little longer than that. But it's, you know, you guys know what size knives you like. I'm not the biggest fan of 3.5 inch knives, but that's kind of my limit, right? That's as far as I want to go on a knife. So it works for sure. And a lot of you guys are going to love that size, right? You have a sharpening choil, which is nice. Edge termination looks pretty damn good from Raikou on this one, gotta say. Yeah, left-handed thumb flick is good. So if you're a lefty and you just like thumb flicking, you're not too worried about the reverse flick. Like I just can't get a good location to do the reverse flick. So the thumb flick is excellent though. So if you're a thumb flicking lefty, then definitely can recommend on this guy for sure. Friday night gas station definitely feels solid. Little pokey right here, but I mean, you're gonna save that Slurpee with no problems at all. Love the accents. Love the back spacer. Just, you know, it's a really well done knife. Lock bar access doesn't look good, but it works really well. I mean, there's no issue there at all. If you're a nail dropper, you can still get in there and nail drop it, no problem. It's cut back just enough, has that jimping and that chamfer, and it just works. Centering's dead nut centered down the line. You have a hidden clip screw or hidden screw clip, which is nice. You have this nice little line right here, nice little detail that, you know, you don't see on every knife. And yeah, it's well made, solid as hell. Definitely can recommend it. Just not gonna be for me because of the lefty thing. Just, you know, I want to be able to flick it. You could probably front flip this guy. Okay, take it back. Can't front flip it. Really? I think somebody could front flip it. Just not. There it is. Not made to do it, but you could probably get it if that's your style. Quick size comparisons. I have in the pocket the Divo knives. Growler V2. This is the aluminum version with the stonewash blade. We are starting to question that a little bit, that it might be more bead blasted than stonewash, but I've had zero issues with rusting or anything like that, so whatever it is, it looks fucking gorgeous. So I'm good with it. 3.3 inch blade on that guy. I do have the Kubi Royal in titanium here, and that one is probably going to be right around 3 inches, knowing Colin. Maybe it's a little bigger on that guy. But there you go. Just some quick size comparisons for you. And yeah, that's about it. Let me know what you guys think of this. Pre-order is on September 21st. So if you are looking to get one, I suggest you jump on it, because Null Knives usually has pretty quick sellouts. It's just how it's been for him, and that's awesome. And so I would jump on it as soon as you can. And yeah, I appreciate Sean for sending this my way. Very, very cool knife. Love sheep's foot blades, and I love what he's doing. So can't wait to see how it does and what he does next and all of that good stuff. I love you guys. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will catch you later.